Unfortunately, I got to arguing with people about Black Lives Matter on Imager because I don't usually frequently other social media, and Imager is a good benchmark for why, because the progressives have hold of anywhere where the discourse is limited to 140 characters. And of course, I got a fuckload of downvotes, and my detractors got a bunch of upvotes for talking about black crime. I mentioned how Black Lives Matter leaders, the founders of the movement, were racists, that the whole "we have nothing to lose but our chains" quote was coined by a convicted cop killer. All of that, of course, fell on deaf ears and got me a bunch of downvotes. Not that I give a fuck about the opinion of people on that shitty website. And of course, my detractors got a lot of upvotes, but one thing they didn't like was statistics. They all wanted to talk about historical oppression, this, and systemic racism, that. None of them would define the words racism. None of them would, of course, ever define the word systemic, or where this system is, or who the society asshole is, and why he's such a racist prick. None of them would do that, but unfortunately for them, no matter how much I mentioned crime statistics and how many times I cited numbers, they didn't care. They had no response, just downvote, 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 which little else is to be expected, so I didn't get too offended, but I thought I would come and discuss such things with you people. So here I have some numbers from 2013. These are the most complete numbers I could find on short notice. So, murder victims in this country. Okay, 12,253 total, 5,537 white victims of murder, 6,261 victims of murder who were black. By the way, white people are well over 60% of this country. Black people are roughly 13 to 14%. That's a little bit sobering when you adjust, like most progressives want to, by population percentage. Because, of course, a lot of my detractors wanted to figure in all crime, particularly white collar crime, because if you figure in white collar crime, suddenly there's more white criminals than black. Well, isn't that interesting? But, unfortunately, blacks account for 50% or more of all violent crime and over 50% of murder. But that is a bit sobering how they are well over, excuse me, well over 50% of the murders victims in 2013. Now, if we look at the expanded homicide tables here for murder offenders, keep in mind that there's actually more total murder offenders than murder victims, because you can be convicted of murder uh, with other people for the same victim. And you don't necessarily need to be the one who stabbed or pulled the trigger or whatever. You just need to be very directly involved for you to be charged with murder. So there are more murder offenders than murder victims. Now, the murder offenders: 4,396 white, 5,375 black. Keep in mind that of the sex known for those male, the overwhelming majority of murders committed in both cases were male. 90% in both cases. Now, the fact of the matter is that the number one cause of death for a black male in this country aged 15 to 34 is being murdered by another black person aged 15 to 34. That is not the case for whites of the same age range. The black community here has a serious problem. Because at the end of the day, 5,375 convicted murderers of the black race, well exceeding the number of white people by nearly 1,000 in 2013, when there is well over 6 times as many white people. The other thing I got in a lot of trouble for was saying that at what point does the community need to take responsibility? Because this systemic problem of racism that comes from culture and society, bunny ears, bunny ears, bunny ears, these are unquantifiable, unfalsifiable terms. They're weasel words. And the reason why they are is so that they can be thrown out as an excuse, no questions asked. I have asked well over 20 times, what is the system? Who is society? Define these terms. Can you quantify them? Can you give me numbers? Can you provide me statistics? Not one soul has answered. Hundreds of downvotes. Lots of people calling me a racist. Lots of people saying that I hate black people. No answers. None. And I don't expect any. And no matter how many times I say, haha, that's great, you can call me a racist all you want, do you have an answer? That invariably, 100% of the time, thus far, in my experience, every single comment I've said, yeah, call me a racist all you want. Can you define system? Can you define the culture? Who is the society? He sounds like a real asshole. At what point does a community have the obligation to take responsibility for itself? Every time I've asked these questions, they have been met not even with insults, but no answer. Just downvote, dislike, fuck you. I expect nothing less from progressives. Nothing less. And thankfully, my self-worth and the truth, neither of which is based on likes or dislikes. Facts are facts. And I'm sorry that facts are racist. Calling me a racist in the face of this information I provided you with would imply that I want these things to be true. That I want the black community to be plagued by violence and murder. That I want them to murder each other in droves. Saying, apparently, that in 2015, over 730 white people were not murdered, but just died at the hands of police. Over 730 white people, let's start one more time. Over 730 white people were killed by police. Over 380 black people were killed by police. Now, if you adjust for population percentage, black people are killed more. But, ladies and gentlemen, 730 is nearly twice of 380. We can fudge statistics any way that we want to. And of course, saying, hey, this many whites were killed and this many blacks were killed, what do you have to say about that? The answer I got was, I need a statistics course. Well, it sounds like somebody needs to go back to kindergarten and learn addition and subtraction again. It's really demoralizing to have these kinds of discussions with people where who I'm arguing with is in full flight from reality and their opinion is more popular than mine. It's a little scary. To sum things up, I don't want black people to kill each other. I don't want cops who, by the way, more homicide victims who were black, or let's start that over because homicide's a loaded word. More black people who were killed by cops were killed by a cop who was not white than a cop who was white. Institutional racism, everybody. I don't want any of this shit to be true. I don't want anybody to kill each other. I don't want white people to kill black people. I don't want black people to kill white people. I don't want white people to kill white people or black people to kill black people. I have no opinion that whites are better than blacks or vice versa. I mean, blacks are better than sports at white people than white people. That's about as far as I'm willing to make a statement, any sort of value judgment on anything between these races. But the black community has a tremendous violence problem. They lead by leaps and bounds, especially when adjusting for population percentage, but I don't need to. 6% of this country, black males, commit the overwhelming majority of violent crime without adjusting for anything. White males are about 33% of this country, a third of it at the most. Black males are about 6 to 7% at the most. And males, particularly black males aged 15 to 35, which is an even smaller percentage than 6% of this entire country, blow every fucking buddy else of any gender, of any race, out of the water by a million fucking miles in every violent crime category. And in the cases of homicide, rape, and murder, and robbery, because homicide and murder are the same thing, it's redundant, murder, robbery, and rape, they're over 50% every time. Do I want any of this shit to be true? No. Do I need any of this shit to be true? No. Are these facts? Yes. Are facts racist? That's a stupid question. Get with the program, progressives. Get with the program, millennials. Get with the program. Black Lives Matter was founded by racists who hate white people. The person who did we have nothing to lose but our chains. We have a duty to win. We have a duty to blah, blah, blah. We have nothing to lose by our chains. The person who coined that quote is a convicted cop killer who escaped from prison and is currently living in exile in Cuba, where there's no extradition. Black Lives Matter is a racist hate movement. Are all people who support Black Lives Matter that? No, because people are retarded, because people are stupid, because people are ill-informed. A lot of people who support Black Lives Matter know none of what I am talking about, have no idea who founded Black Lives Matter. They do frequently hold up, like Black Lives Matter does, martyrs who are felons of violent people with a history of violent crime, people who were killed resisting arrest, people who were killed assaulting or downright trying to murder police officers, all in between. There are very, very few cases, the more and more I looked into this, of Black Lives Matter martyrs who deserve that martyrdom. Very few. And the fact remains that you are more likely to be shot and killed in contact with a police officer if you are white than you are if you are black. If you adjust for population percentage, the numbers are near dead even. You won't hear any of this from progressives, or from Black Lives Matter supporters, or from TYT subscribers. The truth is apparently racist. Facts are racist. Unfortunately. Thanks for watching.